Hi, I'm Eddie the Neddy from Supplement Solutions, and this is Millie, my assistant. Today I'm going to show you how to worm a horse, and Millie's going to help me, along with our SQP, Hannah. SQP stands for Suitably Qualified Person, and Hannah will explain what you need to do in order to worm your horse.
Okay, well firstly we need to establish which wormer we're going to use to worm our horse with. Now we've selected today to use Equimax. Equimax is an ideal wormer for treating tapeworm and all the other common worms that you would find at this time of the year. We would use this in spring and autumn. And the good thing about Equimax is that you can worm up to 700 kilos with once paste. There is also the option of Equimax tabs. Now these tabs are almost like mints, and the horses will take these as a treat. This packet will worm up to 800 kilo horse. So firstly, what we need to do today is establish the weight of our horse. To establish the weight of our horse, we either need to take it to a weigh bridge, or we can actually use a weigh tape. So to use a weigh tape on your horse, there are two sides. One side is for horses, horse tape, and the other side is for ponies, pony tape. Now Millie is 14.1, so we're going to use the pony tape. Okay, so firstly I'll just get Millie out and then we can weigh her.
So before you weigh her, how heavy do you think Millie is?
Well, I would estimate that Millie is probably in the region of 500 kilos, something like that. You are always best to use a weigh tape. It's not a good idea to guesstimate really. You need to establish the correct weight because underworming is quite serious really. It's not worth worming if you're going to underworm. You'd be better off to get the correct weight and then you know you're worming correctly. So what you do is you pop the tape round her middle. It's okay, it's going wrong. Just a minute. And you bring the two ends together. Okay. So this weigh tape here shows that Millie is around and about 443 kilos. So I guesstimated 500 kilos. So she's just short of 450 kilos.
So what's the next step?
So the next step is to select which worm you're going to use. And I'm going to use the paste on Millie because she's quite good to worm. Sorry, Millie.
So how do you decide how much paste do you give?
Right, well on your Equimax syringe here, you'll see there's a graduation scale. So what you do is you move the little nozzle notch to 500 kilo and then you screw it round like so. So that now I'm only going to give her that much wormer and that bit's going to be spare. So what we need to do now is make sure that we have taken any food out of Millie's mouth. Now she's not had a hay net for the last few minutes, so we know that she's not got any food in her mouth. We then take the cap off, pop that in our pocket, and then holding the tube like this, you would hold her head underneath there and carefully pop it in her mouth like so. Push it until everything's gone in. Hold her head up like this. You go, Millie. That's it, and you usually get a nice smile like that. Okay.
So what do you do with your syringe now?
Now this is very important. You must make sure you dispose of this syringe very carefully. It must go in a bin with all the cap and all the contents of the wrapper, because this is very dangerous to dogs and cats. Also, if you'd spilled any on the floor, which we haven't this time, then you have to make sure you clean that up. If you spill a lot, then you must make sure you reworm your horse, because actually a little bit of wormer goes a long way, and there's not actually as much as you think in this tube. So if she'd spitted most of it out, we would probably have gone back to reworm. But the best thing to do is always ask your SQP or your vet.